Warning, this article contains potential spoilers for Game of Thrones Season 8. When will Game of Thrones Season 8 be released? Game of Thrones Season 8 has been confirmed to be hitting screens in 2019. So fans will have to wait. HBO, the US network behind the hit show, is yet to announce anything further about a firm date. However, one assistant director working on Game of Thrones dropped a massive hint from the set recently. Jonathan Quinlan posted a note from the series producers thanking the crew for working so hard on the show's longest ever battle scene. The message included the line, "When tens of millions of people around the world watch this episode a year from now, they won't know how hard you worked." So it looks like Season 8 is slated for an April 2019 release. Production is taking place in Croatia, Northern Ireland and Iceland. Earlier this year, HBO released an official statement which said that Game of Thrones would return for its sixth episode, eighth and final season in 2019. The cast and crew have been spotted at various locations across the world shooting scenes on the fantasy epic, including Dubrovnik, where Jon Snow actor Kit Harington was apparently seen by a Croatian fan. As well as Harington being spotted, he was seen filming scenes with Lena Headey, better known as Cersei Lannister, and John Bradley, who plays Samwell Tarly. Has the script for Game of Thrones Season 8 been leaked? Sadly for fans, 2018 will be a year of no new episodes of Game of Thrones. Star Maisie Williams, who plays the younger sister to Jon Snow, Arya Stark, was previously quoted to have dropped some big hints about the Season 8 release date. However, Williams, 20, has now hit back at the report, stating that she revealed the air date. Taking to Twitter, the A-lister said, "Just a tweet letting you know this Game of Thrones release date quote I've supposedly given is completely false and taken from an interview I did years ago." In previously published quotes, the actress is reported to have said, "We air our first episode in April 2019. That's a 4-month turnaround for these huge episodes. There's a lot that goes into the final edit." She went on to tell the Metro, "You would not want to rush this season at all. We owe it to our audience and our fans to really do this final season to the best of our abilities." Most recently, the young star dropped a huge hint that Arya Stark could in Game of Thrones Season 8. During an interview with Jimmy Kimmel, she revealed she knew the ending of the show and that it was incredible. Will Game of Thrones Season 8 be released early? Why is Game of Thrones Season 8 taking so long to be released? Production on Season 8 is in full flow with multiple crews working on the show across various locations, with the program makers taking their time to ensure the final run is the best it can be. Game of Thrones recently returned to the Dragon Pit, and there have now been hints that this is where Cersei Lannister is going to be meeting her death and ending up in the Seven Hells. A set near the site of Castle Black was recently seen getting erected, suggesting that there is still quite a bit of work to be done on the new series. It's thought that the huge Game of Thrones set will be where an upcoming big battle from Season 8 is yet to be filmed. There was previous speculation about whether there would be multiple endings shot for Game of Thrones. However, Williams recently poured cold water on this theory. She told Jimmy Kimmel, "I heard this and I thought, I don't think we got the budget to shoot multiple endings." Her words seem to contradict HBO executive Casey Bloys, who said that to prevent any leaks there would be a number of endings filmed. Depending on which of the conflicting reports fans believe, filming several finales would be one of the reasons that the show is taking longer than usual to be released. Liam Cunningham has said that fans can expect a bittersweet ending to the story. The actor, who is better known as Sir Davos Seaworth, said that he knew exactly how the epic saga would be coming to a close. George R.R. Martin, writer of the original books, described the end as bittersweet, and it is, Cunningham teased to RTE Entertainment. HBO programmer Casey Bloys said last year that a 2019 release date is plausible due to the writing process involved in the show's final season. They have to write the episodes and figure out the production schedule. We'll have a better sense of that once they get further into the writing, he told Entertainment Weekly. The HBO boss also explained that the production of Season 8 will be extremely cinematic, so the production schedule will differ somewhat from previous seasons. Season 7 was released in July last year, having started filming in August the previous year, 2016. Filming for Season 8 officially started in October 2017. In another interview with the publication, Blois explained, "They take the time they need to do the show at its highest level of quality. As the show has gone on, it's gotten bigger, big battle scenes, big special effects. These things take time. Here's the one thing I can assure you, showrunners D.B. Weiss and David Benioff, we're not sitting around on a beach waiting to go back to work. They're perfectionists. And this is the soonest it can come back at a level of quality that they are comfortable with." When will the Game of Thrones spin-offs be released? What will happen in Game of Thrones Season 8? There have been suggestions that the Iron Bank could betray Cersei Lannister and end up supporting Daenerys instead when she rides to them on a dragon. Actress Natalie Emmanuel, who plays Missandei, has suggested that Jon Snow could be dealt a cruel death blow in Season 8 by his beloved Daenerys. A new theory has emerged suggesting that Jaime Lannister may sacrifice himself to save Jon Snow, who is the last of Rhaegar Targaryen's children. There have been suggestions that Khal Drogo, Jason Momoa, could be making a comeback in the final run as Daenerys faces one last tragedy. Joe Dempsey, who plays Blacksmith in one of Robert Baratheon's bastards, recently revealed that he'd been filming quite a lot on Game of Thrones Season 8, which could either signal his ascent to the throne or death while fighting the White Walkers. Fans have predicted that Robin Arryn, Lino Faccioli, will be making a comeback and could drive apart Sansa and Sansa Stark. A new theory has emerged suggesting that there's a loophole that means Jon Snow will never sit on the Iron Throne due pledging his allegiance to the Night's Watch. There have been suggestions that the final scene could see Jon Snow, or Aegon Targaryen, buried in the crypts of Winterfell, as Reddit users speculated about the last ever scene. A new theory has emerged that Samwell Tarly, John Bradley, could in fact be Azor Ahai and have to his beloved Gilly, Hannah Murray, in order to save the world. Game of Thrones Season 8 is set to see some major deaths, and there were recent reports that members of the cast were moved to tears by the deaths. Fans have been speculating about whether child star Dylan Sprouse could be playing Rhaegar Targaryen. The character was portrayed by Wilf Scolding in Season 7, but now there have been reports that Sprouse, the twin brother of Riverdale actor Cole Sprouse, will be taking up the part. However, it's uncertain whether Rhaegar is even going to be making an appearance in the final run. There have been suggestions that it could be Bran Stark, now the Three-Eyed Raven, who will end up on the Iron Throne rather than either Jon or Daenerys. Both the former Lord Commander of the Night's Watch and the Mother of Dragons are the favorites to rule the Seven Kingdoms, but Bran is not far behind them. A theory has emerged that Daenerys could in fact in the final season, with one Reddit user suggesting that the Queen was warned in Season 1 that only death pays for life. As fans may remember, Daenerys sacrificed the life of her child to save her husband Khal Drogo, Jason Momoa, and the theory suggests she will sacrifice herself for the good of Westeros. Meanwhile, a brand new set has been built in Belfast, which is the largest ever in the history of Game of Thrones. The set, which features two towers with a gaping hole in the middle, could play a major part in the new season. There have been new reports that EastEnders actress Alice Noakes will be playing a character called Willa in Season 8 after her casting was announced in November last year. A fresh theory has emerged that in order to end the long night, Jon WLL have to his lover and aunt Daenerys. The fan theory suggests that if the stoic former Lord Commander of the Night's Watch is Azor Ahai reborn, then he will have to stab his beloved in the chest and make the ultimate sacrifice. Who will die first in Game of Thrones? Season 8 ? Others have suggested that Azor Ahai could have been transformed into the Night King. As always, the body count is high on Game of Thrones and the final season is set to have some devastating losses. However, one fan has suggested that Arya Stark will actually save her sister Sansa from the White Walkers using her Valyrian sword needle. While it's just speculation, the two sisters have formed a strong bond after they managed to lure Baelish when he tried to pit the siblings against each other. One theory has emerged that the Night King will destroy King's Landing and Cersei Lannister while the fight goes on in the north. While the leader of the White Walkers may be attacking Winterfell, there have been suggestions that his undead dragon will fly to the Westeros capital and burn it to the ground. Daenerys Targaryen has already seen visions of the throne room and King's Landing covered in ashes, which foreshadows a dragon attack. The biggest battle will be between ice and fire, with suggestions that Bran Stark, Isaac Hempstead Wright, could be the one to defeat the Night King. Fans have theorized that Bran could be the last hero from Game of Thrones folklore. There have been suggestions that Jon could Cersei Lannister, played by Lena Headey, in the final battle in Season 8. Most recently Kit Harington was spotted filming in Dubrovnik, Croatia, which has served as King's Landing. Some fans have hinted that this could suggest that Jon Snow survives the great battle with the White Walkers to take his place on the Iron Throne. Script leaks have plagued most seasons of Game of Thrones ahead of their official release, with many accurate storylines revealed online. The final season is no different, with many pages of scripts which are unverified but appear to be real based on previous leaks circulating on the internet. Some of the supposed plot lines already leaked include Cersei and her brother Jaime, Nikolai Coster-Waldau, locked in a fierce argument while the Night King, Vladimir Furtick, and the White Walkers attempt to invade King's Landing. Game of Thrones actors have been spotted in Iceland, including Gwendolyn Christie, Harrington, and Emilia Clarke, which suggests that they will be filming some epic battle scenes with the White Walkers. Fans posted on social media about meeting the actors who they bumped into at the airport. Could the scenes be for the first big battle of Season 8? Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen were traveling up to the north after all to take on the army of the undead. Actor Peter Dinklage, who portrays Tyrion Lannister in the show, told Variety that Season 8 was about halfway through filming and that it would be a bittersweet conclusion. Referring to the delay, he added, "It's the final season, and it's a long one, so we're taking our time." Filming resumed on Game of Thrones in January, with Jon Snow actor Kit Harington returning to Belfast as work continued on the final run. According to fansite Watchers on the Wall, there's been filming at Shane Castle on a significant scene from early on in the season as two major characters talk about Ned Stark's death as they stand in the crypt at Winterfell. Sources told the site that the scene wrapped up with the horn being blown, which could potentially signal the arrival of the White Walkers. Then again, it could be too early in the season for that, but fans will have to wait and see if there will be a siege at Winterfell when the army of the undead come. Game of Thrones cinematographer Fabian Wagner also shared a shot from the location on Instagram. As the Season 8 shoot continues, Game of Thrones Season 8 cast a brand new theory has hinted that Jaime Lannister could actually be the savior of the world, Azor Ahai. In Season 7, Jon told Daenerys, "The children of the forest made these a very long time ago." He was referring to early cave images of the children of the forest teaming up with 3 of the first men to fight the White Walkers during the first long night. In the scene, the two gaze at a photo of 3 men, one of whom has a cuff on one hand, which has led fans to speculate that Jon Danae and Jamie represent the first men. A fan theory posted on Reddit suggests that Jamie and his golden hand are key to saving the world of man. According to Reddit user Bird82, so. The basic gist is that there is a seriously problematic translation error that, once cleared up, will shed light on the identity of the hero. The user goes on to say, according to the Valyrian dictionary, Valyrian words for Lord and Light are Exio and Onos. However, Valyrian words for golden hand are Egon and Ondos. The Lord of Light is a farce. Jaime Lannister, Gold Hand, is the hero in Legend of the Prophecy. Game of Thrones Season 8 locations. There have been theories from fans suggesting that Cersei Lannister could in fact be the Night Queen, with suggestions that she would be ed by her enemies and then brought back to life by the Night King to reign by his side. Along with Cersei becoming the Night Queen, there have been theories about who will her, with many suggesting that Jaime will be one to do it. However, others have said that Ironborn leader Euron Greyjoy, Pilu Asbek, could murder Cersei in his bid to take her throne. Fans have reported a lot of activity around the Winterfell set, with photos purporting to show cranes and rigging holding up lights as filming is underway. While there was no word on the scenes being filmed, Winterfell is going to be having a big role in the final season, and it seems fairly likely it's going to come under fire. Other images appear to show a new King's Landing set being built at the Titanic Studios in Belfast. Bizarrely though, there appears to be a dummy of a construction worker which may have been put there to throw fans off the scent. Nevertheless, the new set appears to have a hole in it, which could suggest that it will also be attacked. Could this be the White Walkers finally making it to the capital of Westeros and the Red Keep? According to Game of Thrones fan site Winter is Coming, there's been a lot of activity on the Winterfell set, with a night shoot involving a battle scene. Pictures captured by Oakleaf Photography revealed much about the shoot, and the company tweeted, "Big night of filming for #8 tonight 26/1 at the Winterfell set. Moneyglass and Ireland 200 plus extras in a big battle scene. This was awesome to see tonight. What's more, a video has also emerged from filming, and sounds on the audio suggest that the castle is getting attacked by the living rather than the dead, which quashes theories that the White Walkers will try to take Winterfell." Speaking about the last run, Maisie Williams told the Radio Times, "It's either going to be everything that everyone dreamed of, or it's gonna be disappointing. It depends which side of the fence you're going to sit on. I think no matter what you do, there's definitely going to be that divide. It depends on what people want from the final season. I love it, but I don't know. You never know." Her words suggest that the finale could potentially be divisive, but with an expansive story like Game of Thrones, not everyone is going to be happy with the ending. In terms of loose end, fans have been questioning whether Edmure Tully's storyline will be wrapped up. He hasn't been seen for a while and was last being held prisoner by the Lannisters. Actor Tobias Menzies recently spoke about the possibility of returning to Game of Thrones as Edmure. Game of Thrones Season 8 directors. Another leaked storyline shows Tyrion Lannister, Peter Dinklage, Arya Stark, Maisie Williams, Sansa Stark, Sophie Turner, Brienne of Tarth, Gwendolyn Christie, and the Hound, Rory McCann, are racing through a camp that's being attacked by Whites. Regardless of what has been leaked, fans know some of what to expect from Season 8. Such as the revelation of Jon Snow's, Kit Harington, parentage and indeed royal status in the Night King and his army.